Praise the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, today let us reflect on the Gospel of Saint Luke, chapter 13, verses 1 to 9. All the texts we read in the Mass during the time of Lent are aimed at making us aware of the need to convert. Lent must mean for us a way back to the Lord, to the only one and who can heal us and save us. Today's Gospel also tells us about conversion, but it adds a new aspect, the urgency of doing it. We need to convert today, now, without waiting for tomorrow, which we do not know if it will come for us. Is that our attitude? Let us ask ourselves whether we are listening to the gospel with the firm purpose of receiving its message into our hearts, or whether we let it slip through our minds without any practical influence in our lives. Everyone knows the answer. But it is worth asking ourselves, because life is short and we must know how to bear fruit, as we have seen in the gospel. Jesus presents two events that have happened. One was a political event, the repression by Pilate of those who had rebelled against him. The other is an accident. A tower falls and 18 people die. Jesus wants us to understand that every event always carries a message from God if you know to look at it with eyes of faith. Husband's illness, the death of a relative, a success or a failure, losing my job, the worry that our son gives us, good or bad news that television brings us. Everything is signs through which God speaks to us. Do we have the habit of wondering what the Lord means to me through all the events we are going through? We must recognize that we do not always know how to give the right answer. Jesus' hearers believed that those who had been executed by Pilate and those who died in the tower accident deserved to be punished by God. Perhaps we more or less consciously tend to think similarly. In the face of a misfortune, we may think that they deserve it, or we may say that God should not allow these things to happen. And we stay there doing nothing else. And in the face of a violent act, we may think the victims deserve it, or we may think it is an injustice. And we stay calm without doing anything else. Jesus gives another interpretation. What matters is neither to feel sympathy of others nor to judge their conduct. What matters in the face of every event is to know to discover God's call to my personal conversion. In the face of violence and corruption that we are experiencing everywhere, instead of simple lamentations, let us ask ourselves why this is happening and what degree of responsibility I might have. In other words, let us not wash our hands of it. Let us feel involved. Let's find there a call from God that urges me to review my own life, to see if I am truly a bearer of peace and solidarity, or I am also helping to create some kind of violence or injustice around me. It is with this spirit of responsibility that the Lord wants us to live the day-to-day events. We must always see a call to our conversion. And conversion means an inner transformation, a profound radical change. Because the call of God is never superficial, but always goes deeper. It demands the renewal of our whole being, the transformation of our heart. To be converted in a way is to be reborn, to acquire a new identity, that of a son of God, like Jesus, who went everywhere doing good and loving. Only thus we will bear fruit. What fruit does my life bear? This is a question I should reflect. God bless you.